guess we are. All right, guys. So we are live. Quick, simple things about it. We will not be discussing about which slot Patrick is going to be taking up. You will come to know on CAT Day. Everyone will come to know on CAT Day, right? There are three reasons which Patrick has outlined very clearly. First of all, there is a very bad preconceived notion that just because Patrick is taking or somebody else is taking in that particular slot, it is going to affect your scores. It is not going to affect your scores. The thing is, you cannot blame it on Patrick, just like you cannot blame it on the paper, etc. It is not the thing. Second thing is, he does not want to intimidate people. And third thing is, it's his personal preference. Why should he reveal it? People will come to know anyways when he does the analysis, etc. on CAT Day as such. So that part done. Guys, welcome to this particular episode. In case you have been living under a cave for quite some time, Patrick basically is a 6 times CAT 100 percentiler. He's going to take up CAT on Sunday as well. Link to his courses will be updated in the description of this particular video. Please do have a look at it. He does courses on CAT, XAT, MHCET, personality development, etc. The entire gamut is there. You guys can actually have a look at it. So, Patrick, I know this is almost like what you have been taking it for, like what, 16, 17 years now, right?
Yes.
17 years, right? 17 years. So,
17 years.
Right. What is your thought process before you go for the exam? I know you are not going to do anything tomorrow, but did you actually take up the practice mock, which the IIMs have released?
No, I have not taken that.
Do you even know where your center is?
Check it out. I'll work on that. It is the least important thing for me, writing that.
Okay,
I mean, it is just that I have to go write the CAT, understand, and then I come back. I don't think too much about it. I don't write a mock during the year. I just do analyze the mocks of my students. But yes, nothing else. So yeah. So it's just like going and writing the paper and coming out. That's all.
Okay, so this year there is a lot of noise. I mean, and the IIMs also did not help a lot by saying that we will try to set a paper which is probably more attuned to the students, where people will be able to clear it. Do you foresee anything changing in the paper, or like what exactly is?
Look, it is wrong to go with any preconceived notion during the exam. Let's be very clear. So I would say that go with the open mind in the examination and just go and write the paper. There's no point thinking about that. From whatever is going on, from whatever people are saying, is that the paper is going to be easy, because they've said that last year they couldn't complete the paper, they would this year the paper. But I've seen so many times that what is the common notion is very different from what the actual paper is. So there have been times where people have said, no, paper is going to get tough because I am said this and I am said that. And the paper came very easy, and vice versa. So it's best not to prejudice yourself with regards to how the paper is. Just go with the open mind, write the exam and come out. The more you're prejudiced, the more you will get stressed if the paper doesn't come as per the expectation. As a matter of fact, this year, I think it is much better than last year. Last year, we did not know even that what questions, how many questions people, at least this year, we know the pattern is going to be the same. Last time, there was even speculation the pattern will change. So I'm saying that this year, people are in a much better state of mind, at least to know what the paper is as compared to what it was last year. So in that case, I don't see, there's always that gaga over CAT every year that this is what is going to happen and this is what is going to happen. It's all useless. Just chill for every exam and come on.
Okay, I have a question which I always ask this. So see, there are some people who can perform across papers. Somebody like you can perform across an easy paper, a tough paper, or a moderate level paper. But there are some students who, at least this is from my personal experience, they want a particular section to be tough. Otherwise, they will not hit their particular aim. Now, what happens when that does not happen?
So again, I'm not denying that people have preference. So if you ask my personal preference also, I would rather have verbal less and cont and DLR. That is what my. Yeah. But I've seen that it doesn't matter. As long as you go with the open mind, I think you can do well with I mean, don't go with a preconceived notion when you're writing the paper. So if you feel your verbal area is tough and the paper comes tough in verbal, don't get panicky. So I remember that there was a time when the number of verbal questions were very high and the content DRI were less in one of the
CAT 2008, right? 40 questions in verbal and no, or 30 questions. Or yeah, something like
that. So more verbal. So technically, I should not have performed well in that paper. I did get 100 that time. I didn't get 100 otherwise, where max and DRI were more, which was my type of paper. So that whole idea of having that my type of paper and my not type of paper is again a wrong thing. Go in the exam, see the pattern, see how the questions and write. But yes, I don't think that will happen this year because they very clearly mentioned that pattern is going to remain the same. So that is not an issue. Yeah, toughness can go up and down, but if a paper is tough for you, the paper is tough for everyone. It's a relative performance anyway. So I don't think, yes, a lot of people go with the mindset saying that, oh, I'm relying a lot of marks on verbal section. If the verbal comes tough, I will not get that marks. I think it's a wrong notion. Just go with the open mind. If it's a paper is tough, all the more reason all of them will score less and you will score much more than them and the gap will be higher. So it's better for you. So don't go with the idea saying that, oh, the paper is tough, I will lose out and the paper is easy, I'll do well. Nothing like that. Just go with the open mind. I think that's the best thing that.
Okay, so then there are certain other people which are there. Okay, so for example, like I have tried, quite a bit for the entire year, and for some reason my maths is not, it's not going beyond 90 percentile in mocks. Just take a simple example like this. What should be their mindset?
Just
you will definitely have found students like this, right? Yeah,
I'll just give you an example. I had sessions from my students who went to IIM ABC to for my students itself.
Yeah.
Okay, from the students who went. So one of the students who came and I knew him personally now last year in terms of his preparation. He was in touch with us. We know he didn't prepare well. We were not expecting high from him. He's a commerce graduate from Kerala. So, and we're not expecting anything from him, very frankly. Not because he was not a good or bad student, but he didn't have time to prepare. For whatever issues that was there, he did not have time to prepare. As a matter of fact, even his form filling all his friends had done. A lot of things were helped by his friends because he did not have time. He had a problem, major family problem. So he said that he was open to go to top 15, top 20 colleges. He had not scored beyond 96 percentile any of the mocks. He had written only 10 mocks. In the actual CAT, he scored a 99.15. He got from the top 3 IIMs, he got a call only from Ahmedabad. He cleared it and he's in Ahmedabad, right? I would not even dream about, him getting into Ahmedabad, not because he was capable, because he didn't have time. Let me put it very clear. Now, if he can go and outperform with whatever mock scores he's got, his highest mock score is 96 and he scored a 99 point something, sure that, it doesn't matter. Why is your mock score should be a benchmark to what you'll score? Just go with the open mind and there it comes. That's all I would say. Nothing else and no more. It is a simple thing of being in the open mind. The more you're prejudiced about, oh, I will not be able to score so much, I'll be able to score so much, the more it will affect you in the examination. The more you're open-minded, better it is for you. That's all I can say.
No, but that is perfectly fine. Being open-minded, etc., which is there. One thing which a lot of people end up doing is that it's almost like the T20 scenario. Okay, I'm like 5 wickets down. They go for this Australia strategy. Like, okay, I will basically attempt every single thing because I did not get two of the sets right, and basically now, or I did not. I've not reached my level of maths attempts after a point of time, or in number of RC sets after a set stage. And then they say, okay, I will basically go hell for leather. I will basically like throw all caution to the wind and basically mark C, A, B, D, etc., whatever it is. I know, just like a lottery, somebody will probably win the lottery like that. But have you seen from your instances somebody concede that I did something like this? And
no, it doesn't work. Most of the time, a lot of people come back and say, since they marked the answer like that, they repented afterwards because they got a lot of negative marks, and the marks they got also went. But anyway, I'll give you a few examples on these aspects. Again, from one of the students who was in IIM Bangalore who talked to my students. So last year when she gave the CAT, so in the DILA section, in 17 minutes, she couldn't solve even a single set. And that was a blank. 40 minutes paper. 17 minutes gone. 3 minutes she had, 4 minutes she had gone to the entire paper. 7-8 minutes she spent on 2 sets. Couldn't get both the sets. 6 question sets she tried, couldn't get it. So 17 minutes gone and none of the questions solved. So what do you think would be a state of mind? Bad, right? So then what she did, okay, she said, okay, forget, let me just pick up a 4 question set and let me just try it. She was able to solve in 4 minutes the 4 question set. She realized what mistake she had done in the 6 question set. She went there, she solved that. So in the whole bargain, in the 40 minutes, she was able to solve 4 out of 5 sets and scored a 99.92% in DLR. And that's the only reason she got into arts. I mean, the other sections were much lower scores. So imagine that after 17 minutes, not able to solve a single set and then going on. So the more important point is don't give up till the last point. You don't know what will happen. Because I've seen students, you know, what you said is right. I've seen students, the DLR section has gone back. Okay. And then they go to a math section. First 2-3 questions they're not able to solve. And they say, nahi hoga, let's say. And they actually give up. When the results come out, they realize that how clearly sectional cut off for DLR. Max, if I had worked a little bit more, I would have even cleared that and I've got a call from IIMS. But since I gave up in the examination, I didn't get it. So they cleared the cutoffs. But they gave up. And again, so in the 2 hours, what is it? Don't think that I'm doing well or not doing well. Okay, just write whatever possible and do. If you feel you're able to solve more questions. Push yourself and solve more questions because everyone is going to solve the questions. If you feel you cannot solve, the paper is tough. It's tough for everyone. Chill, relax, cut the easy ones and solve whatever you can. There was I remember one exam of ZAT time back. There was a logic section which was there, which is extremely tough. And anyone who would have solved half the set in that whole 50 minutes logic section would have got a call. Can you imagine half the set? That means majority of the people were sitting for that 50 minutes of a logic section, not even solving a single set. So it's possible. Now, if you give up saying that, oh, I could only solve 2-3 questions in logic and I'll not clear the cutoff, I'll not do the max, they would have lost out. So whatever the entire paper, give your best shot and come out properly with a proper strategy without panicking or without doing it. If you feel the paper is not going as per you, relax, re-strategize and solve.
That is something which a lot of people actually end up don't realizing. Okay, even though you have taken like say 50 marks or 70 marks, the problem is that even in the best possible marks, you'll probably have 20, even on a free mock, you'll probably have 30,000 students taking. That's like about 15% of the students who are actually taking. The additional part is that your percentiles actually get increased. I mean, if you're somewhere between 60 to 90 percentile, your percentile has to increase because there are a lot of people who are non-serious takers. They will probably end up coming up over there. There are a lot of people who are like faculty members in institutes who just do it for one particular section. There are I know a lot of people who basically their aim is to basically recollect the question for the next, for releasing the paper. I mean, there is this race till death where like 50 members of a coaching institute, I mean, everyone does it. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. They basically will go and memorize like 15 questions from their side. And then all of them will sit together in a room and recollect that paper and reconstruct that paper. And by the end of the day, you have a percentile predictor or something like that. Right. Those guys are not, they're going to attempt only one particular section. Then there are people, as I said, see, one of your students basically had his form filled up by his friends. There are some people whose parents fill up their form and they're least interested in. Some people filled up the form on the very last day. Just to give you an example, about 20 to 30,000 people who filled up the form will probably not even attempt the test tomorrow. I mean, on day after tomorrow. So there is no point in like, you cannot predict how many non-serious takers are there. I mean, roughly we estimate like 50,000 are serious takers. Remaining are basically, they are just trying out their luck. Right. So that number gets added and you cannot gauge that level of competition or how poor or how bad it is. So, I mean, changing your strategy just because, you feel like it's a slightly tricky paper, don't worry about it. I mean, just go about doing that as such. Just a couple of additional things. Okay. I know this is just a joke as such because nobody can predict CAT per se, but what is like your prediction for it? We still have to answer. I mean, it's like
I have no prediction at all. Never go with any prediction in the exam. I really don't go with the predictions. I mean, I have no prediction in the exam. It is possible the paper will be very easy and people solve all the questions. It is possible the paper is going to be very tough and people may not be able to solve many questions. So it makes sense to just go with the open mind and then just go. I have no idea about it. I will decide as per how the question goes. If I'm able to solve more questions, I'll solve more questions. If I'm not able to solve more questions, I'm not able to solve more questions. I don't predict the paper. It is a very wrong way of doing it because it just creates. I don't tell students also predict. I don't predict myself, so it doesn't make sense.
Okay, one last thing before I stop this, because I mean, there is not a lot to speak about, but what happens if you freeze? And you once told me in one of these sessions, like there was once like you actually froze after a point of time. Okay, like I mean, like after 2 minutes, you could not figure out like where to start. So just to tell people, like even somebody who's as experienced as Patrick sometimes goes through that scenario where, you know, the paper seems like a very uncomfortable paper. It's not something which you have encountered on a day-to-day basis. All right. So how do you go through an uncomfortable situation? So suppose there are a lot of things which come up, which you have probably see. I know you have seen almost everything, but there are still some things which you are like uncomfortable with it. What happens when you do something like
No, actually, as I've not seen a lot of things. I mean, my last paper, I have not solved too many mocks. So my last
no, it's not about mocks. I'm just talking about the fact that you're like 17 years of cat under your belt. You've
no, but
seen like a range of cats.
I've seen,
right?
but that is the advantage. My last CAT paper has been a last year's CAT, right? So I have not done anything else. So when I'm going for the exam, I'm just going with the open mindset. I go with some prejudice, maybe sometimes, but it a lot of them. I'll give you a couple of examples. So, for example, once in the DILR section, okay, I had scored 100% in the previous 2-3 years of DILR. So I was very confident or overconfident that so DILR is my bag. Let me solve all these sets which I come across. I mean, that's one thing I can crack. I started with the set. I mean, I pick up whatever first set I started, I solved. I mean, it is a 1 hour, 2 years back, 3 years back. So after 8 to 10 minutes, I realized I was not able to solve. And like it's a 10 minutes gone. I want to solve all the 8 sets, and I'm not being able to solve a single set. And then the whole plan of solving all the 8 sets got shattered there and then. And I said, relax. I just said, okay, let me just not go with all the sets. It may not be possible. Let me pick up the easy sets. So change of strategy, complete change, because initially it was solve all the sets to now pick up the easy sets and solve. Luckily, the sets later on became slightly easier and I could solve and even come back to the first set and solve later on. Reason because I started relaxing. I said, okay, now I have no pressure. I don't have to solve all the 8 sets. I have to solve as much I can. So I picked up whatever is possible and solved. So luckily, because pressure reduced from targeting the 8 set to saying, whatever come, let me solve. So I was able to solve better. So change of that. Same thing happened math section once. So the initial question I think were tougher or whatever it was, I was not getting it. So again, 15 minutes gone. Technically, in a 15 minutes, I should have solved quite a few questions, but I could hardly solve 3 or 4 questions in 15 minutes. And it was not, the flow was not getting in. I mean, it was just not happening. And I was trying to solve almost every question that was coming up. And I realized that not happening. But 2-3 questions in 15 minutes will not give me anything in the whole exam. So then chill, let me not solve all the questions. Let me pick up the easy ones and solve and go. So again, the pressure reduced. Now from trying to pick up and trying to solve all the questions to picking up easy question and solve, then I was able to go with a flow. Change of strategy, relax my mind, saying that let me just pick up whatever easy and solve. Let me not worry. If the paper is tough for everyone, chill. Let me just pick up whatever I can solve and solve. Luckily, it went with the flow and I could again come back to the question and solve all the questions, which was there previously. It was at that mindset that in the examination, something must have blocked or the paper could have been tough, whatever it was, I couldn't solve. So at that point of time, it is very important just to take that 10-15 seconds break, just to cool your mind off and then go ahead with it. The moment you try to push yourself when your mind is not working, it will not work throughout the paper. So take a step back, reevaluate yourself and say, chill, don't worry, everything happens for the best. Just let me do my best with whatever remaining time is there. And let's see what will happen. That's how your mindset should be. And it normally works.
Okay, awesome. Guys, we will stop at this because as I said, I mean, like Patrick is very clear. I mean, like there is not a lot of things which you can do from here on. But all the best for you guys, and we will speak to Patrick on Cat Day after his slot is over, and you guys will come to know about it. In the meantime, in case you want to look at Patrick's answers on Quora, the link will be provided in the description of this video. Please do have a look at it. I mean, he has answered like practically everything which you want. You can probably answer. You can probably see those answers on Quora. You can look at his YouTube channel. He does videos as well over there. Patrick, thank you very much.